It's time for Monday Night Raw preview and predictions for Monday, January 22nd, 2024, live from New Orleans, Louisiana, tonight at 8 o'clock on the USA Network. Welcome back to my channel, the X2 as Nice. I'm going to go over the card and give you predictions and analysis on who's going to win and what's going to happen on tonight's Monday Night Raw. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel and you like pro wrestling, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will be doing a wrestling figure giveaway contest for subscribers only starting this week. So make sure you subscribe now. We're going to check out the card and give you a preview of just the card here. We're supposed to start off with Seth freaking Rollins addressing his injuries that he suffered from last week's title match. We get Ivy Nile versus Valhalla, Chad Gable versus Ivar, Miz versus Dirty Dom Dominic Mysterio. We're supposed to have a face-to-face between the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and CM Punk. And then in the main event, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre versus Judgment Day's Damien Priest. Now, it's prediction time and analysis time. These predictions are not for betting purposes, but for entertainment purposes only. Seth freaking Rollins injured his knee last week versus Jinder Mahal. It has been noted he has a torn MCL and a partially torn meniscus. Will he be having arthroscopic or invasive surgery? That's the big question here. If he has the arthroscopic surgery, he would probably be able to wrestle one match, probably be the main event at WrestleMania, defending that World Heavyweight Championship. But if he has to have invasive surgery now, Rollins may be done. We're going to find out tonight what's going on with Seth freaking Rollins. I've got two predictions here. Number one, and we'll go over several predictions, but my two top predictions is, number one, I think he's going to try to tough it out because it's WrestleMania season. I think he's going to have an arthroscopic type procedure to clean it out and allow him to have that one match at WrestleMania. And I think that's prediction one. He's going to wrestle at WrestleMania. Number two, he has to have the worst of the worst, the invasive surgery procedure done before WrestleMania. If that happens, I think that starts a whole new topic of conversation. We might see Damien Priest come out tonight and cash in that Money in the Bank contract and win the world title in this opening segment. I could very easily see that happening. A third situation is they lead us on to where you think he's not going to wrestle, and then he does later on. So the third scenario is we don't really get a lot of clear answers. Fourth situation, I could easily see him saying, I'm not going to be able to wrestle. Priest comes out, cashes it in, but Rollins rolls him up in a small package for the win and costs him the Money in the Bank. And then the Judgment Day lays out Seth Rollins, leading to some sort of a tournament or something. Okay, and that's another scenario, is Seth Rollins stripped of the title, and we have some sort of a tournament, or CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we'll find out tonight. I think that's going to be a very interesting opening segment for the Seth freaking Rollins coming out on Raw. Let's move to the Divas match. Ivy Nile versus Valhalla. Nile looked really good in her last match versus Rhea Ripley. I think she gets the win here tonight. I think this is going to be a really good match. We get a chance to see Valhalla in a big setting on the big stage, and I think this is going to be a great match, but my prediction is Ivy Nile gets the win. Next, we have the Alpha Academy's Chad Gable versus Ivar. They've been fighting and feuding over the past couple of weeks with Ivar. Ivar beat Otis. Then last week, Tozawa upset Ivar as he rolled him up in a small package. Now we get the rubber match between Chad Gable and Ivar. I'm going to pick Chad Gable to win this one tonight, giving the Alpha Academy a 2-1 win in this mini feud versus Ivar. I'm picking Chad Gable for the win. Next, we get to The Miz versus Dirty Dom Dominic Mysterio. It's going to be interesting to see and find out what's going on with R-Truth and the Judgment Day this week. This is turning into the best storyline going on Raw, and that is R-Truth trying to get into the Judgment Day. Last week, R-Truth greased the pockets of the Judgment Day with parking lot merch sales money. This week, I'm predicting R-Truth is going to cost The Miz this match, giving Dirty Dom the win. My prediction is Dominic Mysterio gets the win with an assist from R-Truth. Moving to the face-to-face, the best in the world, CM Punk, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I do think there is a chance this face-to-face gets moved up into the opening segment with Seth freaking Rollins. Depending on what's really happening with Rollins, you could see those two come out and say, well, if you're not going to defend the title, then put it up for grabs. And so on and so on. Or, hey, we're going to win the Rumble. We're coming after you whether you're hurt or not. So you better get healthy. So I think we could see this face-to-face happen during the Seth Rollins segment. But nonetheless, I think it's going to be good to see Punk and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, in the ring. I think Punk's probably going to, I think he's going to give credit to Cody Rhodes for bringing him back into professional wrestling. We all know what that means, right? He got him back into AEW, and I think they're going to talk a little bit about the AEW stuff and the roads that they traveled. I think we'll get some of that stuff in this face-to-face, ultimately leading to, I'm going to win Royal Rumble. Get out of my way. One or the other. Next, we go to the main event. We get the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, versus the Judgment Day's Damien Priest. This could be a world title match if Priest cashes in his Money in the Bank on Rollins at the beginning of the show, so keep that in mind. This is going to be a hard-hitting match between two of Raw's biggest men. With the Judgment Day by his side, I see Drew making another mental mistake down the stretch during crunch time, costing him the victory. My prediction is Damien Priest gets the win. Will this be Damien Priest's first world title defense? That is the big question. Now, if Damien Priest cashes in, and this is a world title defense, the question is, does he keep it? Or will they move the belt to Drew McIntyre? And that's a very good question. Would you have Priest main eventing WrestleMania or a Drew McIntyre if Rollins is unable to go? That would put CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, whoever wins the Rumble, against McIntyre. Or would you have Punk and Cody versus Judgment Day's Damien Priest? So those are the two ways you can go on this. And if Priest cashes it in, I do think that increases McIntyre's odds of winning the main event match tonight. Versus if Priest does not cash in, I think the storyline of McIntyre continuing to make those mental mistakes late in the match, I think that's going to play out. But if Priest is the champ, I think they could take the title off of Priest right here and put it on McIntyre heading into WrestleMania. So a couple of situations to be aware of tonight. This is going to be an awesome show. I think it's going to be a great show. And I think Seth Rollins kicking the show off is going to be very important for the wrestling fan to tune in and find out what's going on. I'm sure we're going to have a couple of matches, at least one that's not on the card that will pop up. You've got 3 hours of Raw, so there will be some pop-up matches like usual. We will be doing a Raw results show in 60 seconds, a very popular show. We put out all the results in 60 seconds. So if you missed the show, we'll give you the results. Make sure you tune back in. Right after Raw, we'll get that video out around 11:15, 11:30-ish. That video will be out, so make sure you check that out. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to do the figure giveaway contest starting this week, Wednesday or Thursday. If you have any suggestions on which figures, check out some of my previous videos. Comment down below who should be the first giveaway figure, and I'll take that into consideration. I have one in mind. I don't want to tell you yet. It's not on the list of videos I've opened recently. But if I get several people requesting a certain one, we'll switch it over to that one. So make sure you subscribe. The figure giveaway contest coming up this week. I hope you enjoy Raw tonight. It's going to be awesome. Important Raw for us to watch tonight. What's going to happen with Seth freaking Rollins? Hope you enjoy watching the show tonight. Have a blessed evening. Make it a twice as nice day.